she is 6 and not a baby at all. It's crazy. It's like they're in the last few months, the like whole toddler thing is just shed from her, and she's just a full kid.
Is she wearing a kitten heel?
Is she wearing a what?
A kitten heel?
Yes.
Does she like fashion, or is she more of a...
She's like Natasha's kid for sure. She likes to design things, and she's your little daughter right there.
Sometimes, you know what's crazy about having a kid? Sometimes I'll look at her and I'm like, I'll see that she looks so cute, and I'm like, yeah, I get the same feeling like, yeah, I look cute. But I'm like,
oh, you think when you see her?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, but I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
I ain't that cute. So
You are that cute, honey.
No, but it's hard because it's like, oh, you just care about, you're like, you are that person, or I don't know. It's like you're very connected, I guess.
Now, Maria Bamford's here. You're one of the humblest people in comedy. So humble that you're not holding the microphone, and we want to hear that. We want that voice.
Whoops. Well, I have been heard. How about Scott Marvel Cassidy has not been heard though.
We were about to introduce you guys.
Now, Scott, Maria, last time you were here, you were happy. What's going on now?
We just met a new therapist
Ooh.
today.
Couples
Because our old therapist, Carol Grisham, moved out of town. She moved to Hawaii, and we're just doing Zooms with her, or telehealth.
That's what we do.
And it's not good.
Well,
It's not good.
You don't want breaking waves behind your couples therapist while you're fighting.
So we had the address. We went to the address, and it was a ruined little shed under a bridge.
Under
And I was
two
like,
freeways.
I'm not doing this.
It was like a tool shed?
But then it turned
But you
out,
still trusted them enough to.
but we were in Monrovia, and it was in Arcadia. Or vice
Oh,
versa.
it was the wrong place.
But I was like, Maria, I'm not doing this.
But you haven't seen The Karate Kid?
Yeah,
Mr.
right.
Miyagi was
Yeah,
deeply in a
yeah.
little shed under a bridge.
Yeah.
Wait, tell me what you guys think of this, because we have an idea for our couples therapist to be on our podcast.
Oh.
And then we thought about it, and he was like, well, he might tell, like, would you want that person to speak on your behalf publicly?
I think the funniest thing you could ask your therapist to do is to give their unfiltered analysis in front of your fans. But that's also the most vulnerable thing, and you could find yourself not in a podcasting mode very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if it's against like the Hippocratic Oath.
Oh,
like,
I bet he wouldn't
yeah,
do that.
I don't
We
think
haven't
he-
asked him yet.
No,
I don't
hold
think
on.
he can do it.
Are you conflating HIPAA laws with the Hippocratic Oath? And are they the same? Are they connected?
I think I don't know. I know the Hippocratic Oath is to do no harm, and then
That could do harm.
and then that it's like it's like when Dr. Drew, his whole thing is problematic. Like you're
Right.
like, oh, let me help celebrities by getting them back on TV. Like, no,
That's the
In reality television.
yeah, it's just awful.
That's the hypocritical oath.
That's
Is that right?
yeah. I don't know what HIPAA means, but I knew the Hippocratic Oath is not to do harm.
Can't you say
Does
to
it
your
have to do with
therapist,
Greece?
we give you, we
Greek?
hereby say you may humiliate us on our podcast.
But you're under their care.
Oh, right,
So
right.
you're an untrustworthy source, I
Mm-hmm.
think, in
Ooh,
terms of.
I have an idea. Why don't we ask him? And if he says yes,
There you go.
We could ditch him.
But he might be unethical. We don't
He'll
know.
lose his license, right?
Oh, that would be funny if we ended up losing his license
There's
for
a
him.
guy at our dog park who he does therapy as a podcast for someone. He's a therapist, and then he has one client. And I mean, Esther Perel that makes $1 billion
Mm-hmm.
doing that. And at the same time, I mean, I love Esther Perel, but every time, now she does her own ads, and she's like, today we'll be talking with a polyamorous quad, and a trigger warning, there will be sexual trauma. Hello, Fresh. I love the peanut curry. There's so much quinoa and squash.
That
watch-
is so true. I mean, it's like, yeah,
It kind of takes away from their professional detachment if all of a sudden they're like, and you can see me on, catch me in Vegas. Like, I don't know. For me,
I think they give up. Have you guys watched Couples Therapy on Showtime
Yes.
or Hulu? It's so good. I've never heard of transference for a TV host, but I fell in love with that woman.
No, she was too sexual because Moshe
No,
was
she
always like,
wasn't
I really
she
like
wasn't
her.
sexual. She was beautiful,
She
and I
always had her
sexualized
tits pushed up.
No,
she always had
Natasha.
a new fetching hairstyle. She was a great therapist.
She was a
She's
good- she
very
is a good
beautiful,
therapist.
and also it's beautiful. But again, TV, I think it does, and podcasting itself as therapy is it's not real. It's not therapy. That's not therapy.
But how do they go? They get it feels like they get there. It feels like the couples are in anguish.
It's called editing, darling.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of them trying to do their own podcast reads.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. At least there's some part of me that's bothered by it, but I also love watching, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, Scott, let me ask you this. If you're talking to your therapist and she like has her like juicy tits like
Yeah, let me
pushed
ask you
up,
this. If she has her juicy tits.
don't you think, but I mean, I think that's distracting for men. And I'm saying this because I had another therapist who
It's distracting
did it.
for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if somebody had juicy tits.
Yeah, juicy tits.
Holy
they're
cow.
really asexual therapists, I think.
You
At least that's how I looked at them. There's no way.
today, you mean the new one?
Oh, her and all my past ones. Yeah.
They've all been asexualized.
No, but I'm saying,
too.
would it distract you, or you?
Oh,
think
it would be awful. Yeah, it would be.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying.
mean, I would like it, but it would be awful.
Juicy tits, yeah.
juicy tits
So if
are
you hear
pretty.
that, if you're maybe a young nascent therapist listening right now, keep the juicy tits at home. I mean, that's what we say.
Or unless that's your thing, because sometimes people do sexual. I mean, I've heard of
Right.
sexual therapists.
Right.
I had a sponsor in one of my many 12-step groups who was a former prostitute who became a sexual therapist, and she definitely, you could see that she had a nice shape on her.
JT all the way.
Yeah, JT all the way, and maybe that. I mean, I don't.
But some of those
don't know.
therapists, I believe, and I don't think I'm making this up. Some of those therapists get in there. The sexual ones specifically, they'll actually get in
Get
there.
into your bed, and
they'll
help you
physically.
work it out.
No, I'm not even joking, right?
For
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
They can
Yeah.
fuck
Oh,
you.
Well, they come in there and go, "Hey, what's this feel like? Does that remind you of something?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poke on your belly and the button and go, "Oh, was that?
Was that bad?
Was that bad?
Or good? Maybe that was
or
good.
not, is that great? Yeah.
Hey, yeah, it's real. It's a whole wild West type of situation. I mean, that's a little bit more difficult to figure out the ethics of than coming onto our live podcast.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't mean to nag your idea because it sounds wonderful, and I'm so sorry, and it could be
No.
totally helpful to people, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
We can, and by the way, anything you say, it can be cut. It can be cut out. You come to us and you say I didn't want to say that, it's gone.
Wait, so you guys wrote a book together?
Yes.
Yes.
What was that like? Did you
Hog
fight?
Book and Laser Eyes. I know it's been out for like a couple months, but everyone was talking about it, and then I had to cancel our podcast when you guys were on your real press tour for it. But I would still.
Yes.
We would like you to plug it right now. Just plug that
Or
thing.
tell us about it, because Maria, we want to hear about your new book, and Scott,
Well-
I know you're very talented.
Scott.
Okay, so I'm an artist, so I was drawing it anyway. It was going to happen anyway, so I wrote a kind of a outline, and she chimed in, and we both respect each other's space, so it wasn't hard to do at all. And we enjoy each other's company, so
Not one creative conflict?
not one at all.
What?
Yeah,
Well, what's this couple therapy for then?
We have other.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
other
shit.
stuff. Great,
Yesterday,
great.
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness,
Yeah,
yes.
it's been rough sometimes.
No, we have different ways of communicating. Like I am passive aggressive. Scott is from Philadelphia. I'm not sure what that's.
No,
That's
Minnesota is one of the more passive aggressive places.
Yeah.
My mother's from Minnesota. It's a very, it's like they're, oh yeah, everything's fine, everything's fine. And they
Is that
don't-
resonating? Are you hearing right now? You're hearing
Okay.
a familiar
So
tone.
I'm driving. Her mom and dad are in the back seat. She's in the passenger seat. There's a guy in front of me who's on his phone, obviously, and there's a green light. So I just go beep like you would.
Yeah.
Dad, oh, why would you do that? Oh, what do you think you have to go somewhere? I'm like, no, the guy was just sitting there. Well, why would you? Well, why?
friendly beep, but yeah,
Yeah.
they
Friendly beep.
Like
they're
I was aggressive all of a
They're
sudden.
non-confrontational,
Yeah, beep.
but seething inside.
Yeah,
My-
yeah.
Well, yeah, that my dad. We're touching my mom died. My dad went into this really weird kind of angry space. Well, he went into sort of a Karen Carpenter. He wouldn't eat. He was like, and got very fat phobic,
Oh,
and
wow.
like anybody who was at all whatever, quote unquote overweight. He'd go, like, who is this guy?
Weird.
Yeah,
that
I
must
gotta-
be
I gotta-
challenging in Minnesota too, because people are very stocky. It must have been
Oh,
constant
yeah.
trigger for him.
Well, and it was weird because my mom struggled with her weight and was always unhappy with herself. And you're like, oh, is this why? Was she telling you like the whole time? Because he never said that to us as kids, but she said it to us. So I was like,
He's like, I'm gonna take over.
Yeah.
I have a nice read on it. I don't know your father, your mother, or your family.
I love it.
But it just, what if it was like in a weird way, an emotionally very immature way of him like missing her, He's just like, to hell with these fat people, like I want like where, I don't know, it feels like somehow it was like a longing in a way.
Yeah. He got a girlfriend and she was lovely. Like, and he went to all these creepy, he did a great job of trying to get through it. But, his girlfriend Mary was lots of fun. She played board games and she liked to win. And
He already has a girlfriend?
he had a girlfriend. Well, and then about 3 years after, this is 3 years after my mom died, and he got a girlfriend, and she was great, super great, awesome. But he kept not wanting to eat, and then he got COVID and died.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because he had lost so much weight, and yeah, it was super sad. I'm not sure if it was part depression or dementia. It's sorry to bum everybody out. There's no.
But he told
I
me
was literally about to ask if Mary had juicy tits, and so I decided against the riff, and then but now you've got, I kind of found a way back in.
She's still alive, so she's gonna listen. To
Yeah.
She will listen.
She'll
In
hear
fact,
the
Mary, if you're
jinx.
out there, I respect your juicy tits.
But Scott did a great. He did a great thing when my poppy died. Remember when the things?
Oh my God!
So my dad. We brought his body back to the house so we could have a wake kind of thing, so everyone could see him. And
It's illegal.
and which
It
is
is?
illegal. It's illegal. To
And you
bring
just
a
went
body.
for it?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Who
Irish
gives a
wake.
shit? So we hired this guy who's like, I'll do it for $600. And
He had a hearse.
Oh my God.
he had a hearse. He wore a suit, and then because me and my sister were outside, so he could have we could have carried my dad. My dad was 130 pounds when he died, but he looked at Scott and said, "Hey, as guys do," and Dad's
Picked him out of the gurney.
He had
we lifted him up,
like a
and we
little
had to get in
2x4.
this little tiny. We had to bend him to get through, and the whole time I didn't want to do this in the first place.
Wait, you had to bend his waist to get him in the door?
well,
Rigor
just
mortis had
hit
set in.
hit his head and stuff like
Oh,
that.
no.
Me and my sister have no problem. I'm okay with dead bodies. And
And then we had to bend him again to get in the bathroom and then the bedroom, and we hit his head again, and I was like,
And were you just looking at him like, that's my man?
And I was just like, good.
That is
good.
love.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was love.
He was like a dark yellow at this point.
Yeah, he was
Oh
not
my-
looking good at that point.
I was
When-
like, I'm out of here.
When my dog Cutie died and it finally kicked in that she was stiff, I wanted her off my lap
Yeah,
so fast.
yeah.
I was I just rolled her off.
No, you didn't.
I did. I mean, it was definitely a change.
Yeah.
Because it was like she was cuddling me. They were injecting her. We waited too long.
Yeah.
But then when we kind of then he's like, now she's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
they're
feel it.
They're
It's-
not there.
Yeah,
they're not there.
Important question. Maybe this is inappropriate. Why does he need to be inside?
Because so that everybody could come see him, because we didn't want to bring him to and get him all shot up with chemicals or whatever. Just to have people see him, see that he's, that whole feeling. I
It
don't
was
know.
an open casket.
It
Oh, he's
wasn't
laying
a
on the
casket. He was
bed.
laying in the bed. He
And
wa-
wait, all the
Is this a
friends.
traditional Irish wake to just throw the guy in the bed?
Yes.
And
Oh,
I'm
it
the
is.
only
Yes.
Irish one too. So
And-
You're not Irish?
I was Irish. I
It's
was
not
like,
a tradition of your people? Why'd you decide
She's
this?
eccentric, but
You are
is it?
eccentric.
My sister trained to be a death doula, so she
Okay,
was my
that's
mom.
making
My
more
mom
sense.
died in the bed at the house, and we washed her body and we put flower petals and wrapped her
I
in a
see.
nice
It was like a hippie kind of
hippie
lovey.
skippy type
I
of
see
deal.
it. I see it.
Did it with
Okay.
my dad, put him in his nice outfit, wiped his brow, etc. But I don't want to put in makeup. Like I've done that where you've
Sure.
gone to mortuary. Ugh.
It would have been good because he was dark yellow.
All right.
And then his friends would come in and go, "Oh, he looks so good." I was like, "There's no way." And I hated it.
He still said he looks
Oh, he
good.
looks good. He looks good. Oh, I'll miss him.
There's
I'm
no-
sorry we're
There's
laughing
no
about
way.
I know.
He looks so good. There's no way.
Yeah, he's yellow.
Uh-huh.
He's a deep ochre.
You know what's interesting? My folk, you know about my folk, the Jews?
Yes, yes.
The Jews, they like it, the speed and the non-nostalgia is like it's whiplash inducing. It's like we're doing the funeral that day, and they wrap them in a sheet, wrap them up all mummy style, and then they take them to the and it's a pine box. There's no fanciness, and then they break the pine box apart. Like we're not even doing the pine box when we bury them. They break it apart, and then it's just
dump them in the
dump them and dirt them.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
I kind of love it too.
I would kind of love that because then isn't the whole thing? Then you do the 8 days of just crying and then you just eat food, which is what everybody wants to do.
Right, it is true. No looking in the mirror. Do you know about that?
I didn't
Can't
know
look
about
in the
that.
mirror because it's something like you don't want to be like distracted by your own image from your grief. It's like it's laser focus. It's
They
like
put black sheets over mirrors.
over the mirrors because looking at yourself. I don't know what looking at yourself in the mirror is supposed to do, but Laura, you're a Jew. No, well, anyway, it's something. It's something like it's nice to look at yourself and you don't want to be distracted by your own beauty or something.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, here we were talking to who would look at obituaries and see when a funeral was happening, and then go to the houses of the people involved in the funeral and rob them.
Whoa.
Wait, who did that?
Jeremy just told us that.
Wait, Jeremy didn't do it though.
No, but his friend did. He was talking about how his friend would always have objects to sell them at cut rate. What was he called? Cut rate Donnie or something.
We
like
know
that.
some people who used to steal stuff.
It's funny. They're like, yeah, if you want to double down on the evil of being a burglar,
exactly.
you might want to be a funeral burglar.
Well, let me just say, though, to finish the conversation, I do think it's almost kind of, I like having your own spiritual idea that is like your version of what you want to do. And I think we need more of that. And I also like having the actual old school way. But if you don't have something that you have to do, why not come up with your own?
Yeah, well, it's just like weddings. It becomes like an industry where you're like all of a sudden you're taken in hand and people are like, this is the way it's always been done. And that's why we need a $2,000 deposit. and they
Well, they do it so people don't have to carry the dead body in the house.
Yeah, but I would have carried it.
You
That's
should
the
have
thing.
volunteered. But you saw my face when he's like, you. I was like,
I know,
wow.
but I didn't want to harsh your male mojo of going
Yeah.
like, I'll take it, honey.
Put him over
It
my
would be-
shoulder.
Because I totally would have done it because I have no problem.
I wouldn't mind if you said yes.
Really? Okay.
I would have liked
Well,
to
next
see-
time. Next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next time.
Next death.
You'll carry
Next,
me in.
next
will.
dad. Next
Oh,
dad.
I'm sorry.
You know what though? I think what you're saying is right, Natasha. Like, it's a intentionality. We are so uncomfortable with death that any kind of intentionality will make it 50,000 times more meaningful than letting some company do it. Kind of.
Yeah, like when we first got married, we got married once in our backyard, and that one was really it meant a lot to me and to him. And today is our anniversary, our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, for the wedding that my mom planned. So then we did a wedding like 5 months later that my mom got to do like a prom for herself.
Oh, that's sweet.
And she got to invite all of her friends, half the people we didn't know.
Aw.
And
And when we came out to present ourselves, we dressed as hot dogs.
we had hot
And her
dogs.
mom was so scandalized.
Oh, she
was like,
okay with it.
That is hilarious.
yeah. No, she was very sweet.
right.
She- but it was. Yeah. It's just funny because when you know comedians, and then of course, some people got up to say speeches, and
they went long.
Oh, they were trying to do a little time.
yeah. My funeral, it has written in my last will and testament that it's 3-minute light
3 minute for all
for
speakers.
everybody.
Interesting.
Well, Moshe and I's 10-year anniversary is coming up as well in 2
October.
months.
Yeah.
So
How
we've
about
been
that?
married for 10 years as well, but at our wedding, which was also in our yards, we're all very connected here. I said no speeches and no microphones.
Yeah, we did
That
no
was
speeches, no
my-
microphones. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And that was more just from like having relatives talk instead of comedians.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. No, I didn't want to have cameras there or cameras for my mom's version of the wedding. I didn't want to have like somebody wandering around going, "Hey, what are you like?" Because we had this DJ who we assigned him like Scott. Music is like his main like religion, and so
yeah.
he had a huge list of The guy played none of them.
Yeah,
None
yeah.
of them.
In fact, my
You
friend,
gave him a list and he ignored it?
A friend came over. This isn't your list because it was like the Eagles or something.
And Rock Lobster. I was like,
I
what
like
is
Rock
that?
Lobster, but anyway.
Nobody likes it anymore.
Natasha, we had a similar situation. It wasn't a list, but there was a DJ. What was the song? There was some song.
Because I knew this was like a really like hip DJ. I've known him my whole life. He like opens for Paul McCartney, but then I like was in the front yard and I heard like Brick House or I don't know. I heard
It was something
Oh
Brick House adjacent for sure, or Brick House or adjacent. And Natasha ran, and she's like, "Not at my wedding. There will be no Brick House at my wedding."
I think it was actually something a little better than Brick House, but it was something that had been played a lot. Like it might have been James Brown or something, which I like, but I'm like not like the classics, like or not the A sides like at the wedding.
Well, you were a Brick House of stick-to-itiveness that night, honey, and just to see you work, and you were mighty.
I think they played that Meatloaf song about "Stop Right There."
Oh, God.
Do you Meatloaf?
Oh,
That's not romantic.
oh no.
No.
And it was totally, they played my favorite song was like a Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah, the guy played dumb. He said, "I don't know. I didn't see the list." I was like, "I handed it."
Maybe
to
your
you.
mom told him, "Listen, don't listen to
Yeah,
Scott.
Yeah,
This is
no.
my night."
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Play the hot dog song.
Yeah.
I don't
No
think
Gang
so.
of Four.
Yeah.
Well, it is like a lot of probably elderly
yeah.
people there. Like they probably would have more fun with the Eagles.
Maria, what was the Stevie Wonder song?
It was All I Do.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Make my
See?
soul
I don't know that either. I'm not listening to that.
that.
Could you sing the entire song?
Yes, okay, I will.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not. Oh, that matters to me.
Wait, so you guys have 2 months on us.
Yeah,
Do you have
what
any
wisdom?
advice for us? We talk to each other in absolutely different ways as well.
Yeah.
So we're trying to
We
figure
have
out.
communication issues, sure. Why not?
Moshe, this is our main fight is I'm like, that's what I said. And he's like, no, you didn't. You said it this way. And I'm like, oh, well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, she'll be like, "You're an irresponsible slob with terrible ideas," and I'll say, "Well, it would be cool if you said, I wish that your shoes weren't in the hallway." And she goes, "That's what I said." I go, "No."
No, but
It's
see,
different.
Moshe hears it in the
The
you're
shaming.
No,
Yeah,
that's the great
shames.
question is, did I hear it wrong, or did she say it wrong? That is, I would say, that is the quintessence of every disagreement.
I like that we're bringing you something specific.
Ours is we don't know if someone's joking or not. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, because and it'll turn fast. Because I'll totally think because he has a very good stone cold delivery, and so I'll be like, and then he'll be like, and he'll be like, and I'll be like, oh no, I've chose wrong this time.
That's very
And-
funny.
But it makes sense that Maria would think people are joking because she
Yeah.
hangs out with comedians
Well, even
more
with
than
her,
you.
I think she's joking too.
And he'll think I'm joking. I mean, but it's kind of that. But it seems like it goes in waves. Like we'll have like really great times and like have no issues, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, "Who
Well, I think-
are you?"
Well,
you know.
In Australia, we had a great time.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah.
3 weeks. And when we came back, I think we were both like kind of coming back to the real world.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause-
And
yeah.
and also like I didn't have Scott for the first time in our 10 years of marriage. He went out of town, and I was the one who stayed home. And I was like, oh, I see what's going on when I leave town. Like, it's kind of nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that someone isn't, like, we're always kind of noting each other, like, what you doing right now?
Right.
I see what you're doing. Do you want to do something later? Oh, I see. But because you were doing that earlier. You know,
Or
like
Moshe will be like, "Do you want to work out?" And I'm like, "I'm in the middle of something else right now." He's like, "I only have 7 minutes. I'm going to do a 5-minute YouTube," and he's sweating, and I'm just like, "I don't know if I don't." And then
But see,
it's a
this is-
rejection to
no,
him.
But no. This is this is our disagreement.
Okay, maybe it wasn't 7 minutes, but I'm.
This is our disagreement. She thinks when I said you want to work out that it's like a if you don't come, it's a rejection. I'm like, I'm offering you can come in or not.
Yeah.
It's an offering whether you can take it, and I won't be hurt if you don't. She's like, why are you putting the workout pressure on me? I'm like, I wasn't. I was just inviting you along.
yeah.
We have the same thing, but we have a gym we go to, and it's classes. So if we don't show up, it's a $15 charge.
You
So
must show up
you
to
have
the
to
class?
show up or
Uh-huh.
and you have to cancel within 12 hours.
They usually don't charge us though, because we're fun.
You guys are fun. I wouldn't charge you.
But I'll go, okay, let's go. It's 9 o'clock. And she'll be like, I don't want to get out of bed. I go, it's $15. And it doesn't matter.
And it's
That would work with
okay.
Moshe.
It would. I would get up. I would 100% get up.
I don't know. I mean, it's $15.
That's worth sleeping in for.
Yeah, and I also feel like, well,
You're
that's
like-
going
yeah.
to a small business.
Sure.
And that I also feel like in some way I make it so I'm helping them. I'm making for a smaller, petite class
a
where
nice
people are
space.
getting more attention
Mhm.
and they're getting more money
That's nice. What is it?
by me not attending.
What's the class?
Well rock. It's just like all kinds. Every day is a different part of the body. But when I show up, they go, Maria's not coming?
Oh, like they're sad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want to talk to
But
me.
they
want
do
to talk
the
to her.
same thing. They go, Scott's hasn't been in. So they're worried about us both. They do. It's really nice. They have some athletes there, people who are doing more like skull crushers and stuff like that. And then there's like me, where they go, Marie, why don't you just take a walk to the liquor store, get yourself a pack of peanuts, and then come back and just talk about your day.
And that's $15 if you don't do that.
She'll show up in her clogs, her pajamas, and a Diet Cola in her hand.
But you're like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
No, Moshe and I had the same situation because I hired a woman to work me out, and Moshe goes, and she would come to the house, and Moshe's like, I hear you working out. He goes, you are not sweating, and you are not making any noise. And I'm like, just the fact that I'm out there is a lot for me. And I just ran up and down the steps at 30-second intervals.
You just opened a window in my mind, Natasha.
I'm like-
the other week we were camping and we had a bike, and all three of our whole family was on the bike. It's an e-bike.
It was not working. It was like,
no, honey, just
That sounds hard.
I was the only one pedaling. What do you mean it was not working? I was
we were
pedaling.
going uphill.
They were
like,
sitting.
so
They were
slow.
sitting and chilling, and I was going up the hill, and I was like, it was a very long hill, and I was like, it was very difficult, and both her and my kids started roasting me about the noise that I was
I'm
making.
not roasting you. I was like, honey, can we please
Stop
turn
it.
around?
They were like, stop, turn around. They thought it was a medical emergency. I just realized, and we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, and she's like, why didn't you just turn around? And I just realized it's because I was just exerting exercise noise, and you've never heard that before. Because your style is to, like, smoke a long
Show
filtered
up with
cigarette,
a Diet Coke,
the Diet Coke and
walk
clogs.
to the liquor store.
Yeah, because I've been to. I was bulimic, so I had my share of like, come on, girls, let's work it. Yeah, I'm done.
Now
I'm
it's just like
done.
Diet Coke. We're good. We're
When she
good.
comes to the gym, though, she can hold a conversation the whole time. Everyone else is like exerting themselves, but she's having conversations with everyone. in the
Because
gym.
Maria.
It's also the social. The reason people stay alive the longest are the people who have social connections.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm getting out of the gym.
So you're introducing a new element to the workout. Like when you're not there, it's just about exercise. When you're there, it's about also mental and social exercise.
Eye contact, saying, "Oh, what, did you guys see that? Oh, what do you think about Kamala and the new thing? Well, that probably get your heart rate up
That is
if
a
we
blue
start talking
zone.
about that. It is a blue
Right.
zone.
No, that's
our-
actually good
our
because
gym.
if you're
Wait, what's a blue zone? I know what a blue zone is, but
Communal and having
Communal.
friends and seeing people every day.
I thought you meant it was a democratic area.
But it also is a blue zone.
But I was going to say, if
in
it's a
that.
democratic area, you talk about Kamala, people are excited, their enthusiasm goes up. If they're Trump supporters, that's kind of helpful to them too, because their hearts start racing, they're pumping, they're getting, now they're angry working out.
No.
You're helping everybody.
Yeah, no, everything's going off at the gym, and yeah, no, and
Maria, you're doing that though to distract from having to work out a little bit.
totally, totally. The time passes, and
Because I do that too.
And we have these gym journals. We're supposed to write down, what weights were you lifting last week, and compared to this week. I put in who I talked to and what we talked about. And so I can remember their name next time.
Julia was very nice.
Rena. I know Cynthia and her daughter, whose name I always forget. Sogol.
I love that
Sogel's
idea
cool.
of keeping track
Barry
of people's
Sogol?
names.
No, Sogol. That's her first name. And she's, I believe, Iranian. And she is so fun. She's super fun. I asked her actually to lunch in an effort to make friends. I don't know. She's kind of more like a popular girl vibe than I am. So I was just like, I felt like she was a little bit bored with me.
No
Yeah,
way.
you're classically a kind of a boring figure, Maria. In the clogs
I don't think
and socialize. This is so fun. I couldn't relate to you less right now. Like, because at the gym, like I do kickboxing, and it's just a bunch of big men, and we're all trying to avoid eye contact, and no one ever speaks. There's maybe an aggressive nod, but that's that's it.
If I was doing that at our group exercise class, Moshe probably would divorce me.
No,
So,
I would.
That's
I
cool
think it's-
that Scott's so.
this is like the perks of being an iconoclast. Like you're just coming in. You're going to do it Maria style.
Why don't you think of how I'm doing it as being an iconoclast and not lazy?
Well, I just want you to sweat. That's all. I want you to sweat.
Maria,
Why?
Maria will do the exercise wrong, and I'll say, "Oh, Maria, they want you to hold this way," and she looks at me like, "Nope." I'm like, "All right."
Eyes on your own paper.
I know,
buddy.
I'm
but
with
it
you
was
on that.
obvious,
I'm with
and
you on
even
that.
they've corrected her, and she just keeps doing it.
You know what Natasha and I will do
Shit.
when we work out together. We do that, and it sounds like it's true for you too. We fuck with each other while we're exercising. Like the you're doing it wrong is a kind of a game that we play with each other. Where she'll make fun of me, I'll make fun of her. That's how we kind of get through it, right?
I don't. Yeah, sometimes that can go wrong.
Yes,
that
yeah,
can go
I can
wrong.
see that
but
going wrong.
I do like being playful at the gym.
But,
Sometimes,
but we clap and overcompensate. Go, everyone's doing a great job.
Yeah. We try
Yeah.
to pump everybody up. That's hilarious. And then sometimes
'Cause
the
we're-
kid yesterday shut you down.
Oh my God! Yesterday, this kid, we were running. We had to run around the building, and he goes, "We all have muffin tops."
He said
He
that.
said that out loud.
I don't need that. That I don't need.
He's on the spectrum. He's
Okay,
kind
I
of
accept.
awesome.
I
He'll
accept.
say,
I accept. I
And
accept.
say
then
what's
I was like,
happening.
then another time I was clapping my hands like, "Let's do this," and he goes, "I have no words,"
So sick of us.
and he looked angry.
This
Yeah.
gym sounds like a community center.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, and I've gone to the senior center with my friend Viv, and I'll do that. That's great. That's a workout led by an 80-year-old man who used to do weightlifting on the Venice Beach with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
cool.
And that's ridiculous. Nothing's happening during that class. We're like moving our wrists around. It's fantastic.
Everyone's just doing what you're doing.
Send my mom to
Chris.
that.
Yeah.
That sounds like my mom kind of workout.
Senior centers are cool if there's like a
Right.
vibrant. I used to go on these senior hikes with these ladies, and they could handle more than me. It was to be around fit seniors is inspiring.
Yeah, no, totally. My mom loved her Weight Watchers group. She and her friend Kathy, they'd sit in the front row and they'd go, "Oh, Jesus, I haven't lost any weight. Let's go to McDonald's. Get a 6-point ice cream cone."
Do you guys know about? Have you heard about Weight Watchers lately?
Oh, no, what's going on?
Well, they are turning into this. I
This
read
is
an
really
article.
sad.
They're turning into Ozempic distribution centers because Ozempic is taking away. I mean, it's a
Right,
lot
there's
of
no
work. Weight
reason.
Watchers, it's like a
No.
grid system and a meal plan.
It doesn't work. I mean,
yeah.
It doesn't work.
And it doesn't work. Most importantly, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
And so nobody's like, kind of the jig is up, and so Weight Watchers is like, well, we don't want to lose market share. Like they're like injections. They're like a free clinic kind of. You just come in
my
for.
God.
It's like the woman who owns Spotify, or not Spotify. What's it called? The dating one.
Tinder.
Tinder. She's becoming she hired a matchmaker. Like in real
That's
life,
very
like
funny.
she's just like,
It didn't work. Doesn't work.
It doesn't, like,
The swiping thing doesn't work.
Guess what? Oh, that's so, yeah. What advice do you have for us? 'Cause
Oh,
you guys,
We're 2 months below you. How would we know?
No, but we don't know. We don't know what we're doing
well,
at all.
I could tell you something that our therapist told us that we don't ever do.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, this is kind of like advice.
That might work is when we get into these disagreements, to be able to break it and have it's almost like, how do you explain it? Like, I see you like as a joke, or just to be able to connect. And do you remember him saying that?
You're talking about a repair attempt.
Repair,
Repair
yes.
attempt.
But
yeah.
but in a like a,
Gottman's.
Gottman.
Yes.
Oh, you're on Gottman? Oh, y'all on Gottman?
Yeah,
Okay, you guys Gottman?
Gotta get a Gottman.
You got a Gottman.
And we went to the Gottman seminar.
Oh, how was it? We've been thinking about doing it. Was it good? Was it worth it?
Well, hilariously, this is my criticism. they're such assholes about you sign up, and if you say you have any mental health problems, and don't do it, don't say you're
Okay.
on meds, because then they'll have like a shit ass social worker call you, or somebody who's getting their master's.
Not even trained.
Not even trained will go, so when you say you have bipolar, does that mean that you have been at all hospitalized within the past 3 years? I'm just like, bitch, like, what is going on here? Like, do you want me to sign something and say if I kill myself? Like,
Is that what
what's-
you felt like it was about? It was like
Yeah.
liability?
Yeah, it was a liability thing.
Because it's
And-
so hardcore.
And I'm like, at least I told you. Like, there's so many people who are going to sign up for this weekend who are not going to tell you shit, who are completely cokeheads, alcoholic fentanyl overdosers, like, who aren't going to check the box of like, yeah.
Why do you check the box though?
Because
Those
I
people
wanna
don't
be
need to
honest.
know. Yeah, no, I think that you don't never check the box. I feel like never check the box. It's funny too because you're such an outspoken person about your mental health stuff. It's funny for you not to check the box and then show up to the workshop and they're like, "I saw your special." Like, you talked at length about it.
It's okay if you're high functioning.
I kind of think it is.
We just don't want anyone who isn't able to hold a full-time job.
Okay, I have one.
You jackasses. Anyways, I have so much to say about that.
No,
I
keep
met with
going.
a psychologist who did comedic therapy, right? He gave me a red rubber nose. I interviewed him. He goes, I go, well, how does this therapy, we're both wearing red rubber noses, work out for people who have more severe, schizophrenia, bipolar 1, who are, symptomatic and having episode after episode? And he said, oh, I don't treat those clients. Well, yeah. Of
Well,
course
Maria,
you don't.
what were you doing in the room with a red rubber nose therapist? You're such a
guess what-
savvy comic mind. Like you would think you would go, I can't. I cannot.
Guess what pays? Is me doing a short-term mental health interview show.
It's a first show. Okay, that makes. I thought you meant for a personal.
Yeah.
I was.
Again, terrible. Show business often provides terrible healthcare options. Like, it was just awful.
I do have an advice, and it's another thing that we rarely do. But
But
I
why
thought.
can't we do that other thing?
What do you mean?
Can you explain it a little better? What did he say to do?
Oh, the intervention where you go, you distract, or kind of like like if you go, like Scott's really good at it. He'll make a little joke or something, or like a face, like in case
Yeah.
things start to get
It's an
too
offering.
heated.
It's an offering.
offering.
We're in the middle
Why don't
of.
we ever do that?
Well, I don't know, honey.
I'm gonna start doing
I would
it.
say I would say I do, but you like that?
No, this is my offering in between the spat, right?
Another thing that we talk about in therapy that I think was very useful to think about is who's in the room. Is it because often if it's two children, you're fucked. If it's like teenage Moshe.
Oh, two traumatized children.
Teenage Natasha, we're really bad. But actually, almost as bad is adult Moshe, teenage Natasha, or adult Natasha, teenage Moshe. Like if
You're
you're talking to me as an adult and I'm in the teen zone, it's all about adult to adult. That's the sweet spot and the space. So
We become traumatized child talking to
that's
traumatized
what I mean.
child
And
sometimes.
so finding the time to like take a breath and go like, who am I in this moment? Am I traumatized child me? Because I can't.
Or for me, when I become a teenager, I'm like mean.
Yes.
To
yes.
you.
That very. Yes.
Defense.
Yeah, this is a kittenish thing that I do. I threaten suicide and then I cry. It's just charming.
That is
it's
nice.
Charming.
that is nice.
But yeah, like, but that's what I did as a kid. I mean, ever since like age 9, like I would go, I think I want to die, Mom and Dad. Which
Well, we
was
both do that.
Yeah, we both do that. But you'll also, I mean, I don't want to say what you do, but someday you'll kind of like before exploding, leave the room. Leave.
Is
you
that
need to
bad
walk.
or is that bad?
Sometimes I
It's-
leave for a few hours.
Leave
I
for a
don't
few
like that if
hours.
someone does that.
But now I gotta
That's-
tell her. I promise I tell her if I'm like I'm just gonna walk for a few
So
hours.
That's
you would
nice.
leave without announcing
he's-
it and just be
And
gone.
that was an old.
I can see
behavior.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And
very
we
male.
change,
I,
and-
Yeah.
I hate to gender things, but sometimes I feel like they are. I feel like that's a very male.
You've
instinct.
done that a couple times.
I must go because I am about to scream.
Put my fist in a wall.
Yeah.
Also, there's that sense of like I get to be in control of this because like I feel like I understand why he wouldn't want to tell me where he's going, when he's gonna come back, come back, any of that, because it's like you're pissed.
Yes.
You don't want to go, I'll be back in 45 minutes.
Right.
Like that takes away from all the awesome dramatic leaving.
But I'll walk 10 miles.
Yeah, he's walked.
But
he's walked 10 miles.
I get to that point sometimes where I'm like, anger is the only thing alive in me now,
Yeah.
and so there's nothing good that can come of it. And if I, out in the world, and with time and sidewalk, anger will go into the air. It will go away. And it's so difficult, what you're saying, to get to the spiritual phase where you go, anger is all that's here. I'm now going to leave, and I need to go.
Yeah.
I would like to be that person to figure that out, to announce it.
Yeah, I'm trying to become, like, I was just reading about, like, because what I'll do is when he leaves, I just get obsessed. Like, I get worried that he's going to get hurt himself, something terrible's going to happen. Yeah, something bad's going to happen. So, like, I'm trying to retrain myself of, like, okay, if you weren't worried about this, what would you be thinking about? Have a good time. Call a friend, call a girlfriend, go out, go have some coffee, go to a show, go do anything. Like, don't suffer because your partner is experiencing something. Like, I know you wouldn't want me to suffer.
It's teenage Scott walking away
of course,
for
totally.
the next 2 hours.
Yeah. And if I stayed at home going by myself, that's basically me being a child too, instead of going, okay, Scott's experiencing something. Because I've seen my friends lose their minds. I've seen my friends lose their minds, mood-wise. And because I don't spend that much time with my friends, and you can leave and see them 2 weeks later, it doesn't have that heavy a burn.
Right.
But because Scott, we see each other all the time, it's so much more intense.
But it hasn't happened in a while.
It hasn't happened in a while, but
And
we
we do
definitely,
treat it
we've done,
differently,
You know what you should do? Here's some advice. When it's time to go do something for yourself, you just when he's gone, throw on those clogs. You grab a big gulp. You go to the gym, baby. You go get your workout on.
You know what? When I met Scott, all I had was big gulp cups.
Alf cups, Star Trek cups.
Listen.
I love a cup.
Wait, let me tell you guys this really quick, and then we have to take a call because they're waiting. But
Yes.
Moshe, like I read it's also about like just growing, like like that's one of the reasons why we all picked each other. You
Yes.
know, it's like with someone you can grow with. Like I was just reading in this book, this woman was like, yes, I love when my husband goes surfing because he comes back like he's been to the therapist. And I was like, oh, I'm always kind of like annoyed when he goes surfing. But now that I think of it, he does too. So like, why don't I should. So now I'm always like, oh, I want him to go do that because it like makes him come back happy. And what's the thing I need to do to come back happy? And so now I've like shifted my thoughts on the whole thing. And it's like, I wouldn't be able to do that if he wasn't doing, it's like, we're all just growing.
And that's what you want out of life, is for somebody that will come over, see your big gulp cups, and go, "Aw, I'm in."
But we're going to be replacing these.
No. You can lose the cups, but I see them and I go, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love these big gulp cups. Not like I'm fucking out of here.
No.
But the gym has helped us with our brains too.
It does. Makes it, because we both are moody, and so
That's got to be hard.
Yeah, but we're doing good.
You think it's gotta be hard to be moody? Honey, I think you know this challenge.
I know I am, and you're not. So I'm like, oh, it's actually that'd be hard if both of you were like that, because we're very different, and that's really annoying and hard.
Yeah.
So anyway, but listen, I think we should have our 10-year anniversary,
10 years.
double anniversary party.
That's a solid amount of time
I
that
think
we did.
we should have a party.
No,
Yeah.
I felt like we got our therapist because I said in the subject header line, I said 10 years of marriage. And I was
great.
like, I think she's going to be interested.
We get it, Esther. Esther's your.
Esther Perel. Today we'll be addressing the issues that come up when you purple mattresses.
It's like, well, can we begin? But before we begin,
Before we begin,
These women are always kind of sexy too.
the death of a child can tear apart a family and community, but that is when it is good to distract yourself by checking your auto rates on progressive.com.
/Esther20.
Your auto rates.
All right, we should do a call. We could talk to you guys all day and just get rid of this dud that we're about to have on the.
No,
But let's
they're wonderful.
come on. I think she's great.
Okay.
We don't know her.
So we'll talk more about your book, Hogbook and Laser Eye, but it's so cool you guys wrote a book together, and I guess we can just get it on. I always tell people to not go to Amazon.
No, don't do it. Go to Fantagraphics.com. Fantagraphics is great. That's what the publisher, and you can get it direct from them. You can get a T-shirt that goes with the book along with it that has our pug Bert flying in the air like Michael Flatley, like an Irish dancer.
Yeah, I guess you can go to the publisher and get the T-shirt, but can you also bulk order a special kind of deodorant and also a sealant for your RV? It's not even an option at your publisher.
All right, listen, we're gonna. She's waiting on the line. Let's call Amy, or let's talk to Amy in New Jersey. I feel so sorry for people from New Jersey.
Stop it.
No, I'm just saying it's the most like it's the state where people have the most. Florida and New Jersey.
We're gonna lose that. That's getting edited out. Okay, here we go.
I'm just vamping till the tech works.
Amy from New Jersey, here on the line. There she is.
Oh my gosh, look at your beautiful hair.
Oh, you look cool.
Yeah.
Amy's cool.
Oh, thank you. I am cool.
Yeah, you are. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Amy, it's
Thanks.
Natasha, Moshe, Maria Bamford, and Scott Marvel Cassidy. They also have a book out, which I know you're going to get.
I know. It seems like you would have already gotten it.
You do seem like the demographic.
I really am, genuinely. Yes.
Is that a boxer, John Brown, and okay, did I get John Brown right?
You sure did.
Oh, I feel so smart.
And that's
right
a union bug, but it's
now. I
back.
feel very smart right now.
Nice.
How can we help you, Aim?
Well, let me give you a little bit of backstory here. I have a phenomenal partner. He's a great human being. It's actually his birthday today, and he let me come do this instead of taking him out to dinner.
What?
So
You chose poorly.
Well, it's also
I
Maria
didn't
and
choose. He
Scott.
chose for me.
It's Maria and Scott's anniversary, and they're here too. So we've taken all of you hostage.
It's my dog's birthday too.
Aw. He's so thin.
Let's not water this down.
Your dog is so skinny. That's beautiful.
He is.
Yeah.
He is like, it's easier to feed him. It's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so backstory. Phenomenal
Yes,
partner.
backstory.
Maria and I have those as well.
Aww.
Yes.
Aww.
Aw. So yes, I already told him I was going to be gushing about him a little bit. We're kind of disgusting. I'm one of those people who, if I saw me somewhere else with my partner, I'd be like, "That's vile. Get out of my space. I don't like you. You're making me uncomfortable." But I'm just like, "Love you so much." I'm just heart eye emoji all the time. We've been together for 3 years, and I still look at him like that every day. But it's hard to, I guess, not fight per se, but have a constructive argument when I'm hyper neurodivergent, all the fun ones, ADHD, lots of anxiety, para OCD. We're doing a lot of stuff over here. And he's pretty neurotypical, maybe a little bit of ADHD leaning. But it's difficult. He's undiagnosed, so I will keep him.
No, you're a little bit
neurotypical
though.
at
It
this
sounded
point.
like you're like he's 6'6" with perfect abs. He's got a little bit of ADHD. Like it's almost like
He's 5'8"
okay, yeah,
with no abs.
okay,
But everything
okay.
else is great. Yeah.
Sun with
Close enough.
Taurus rising.
It's so funny. We were talking about this is all we've been talking about our whole conversation before you called in. So you called on the right day.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm excited to be here. And
people-
I'm a huge fan of everyone, which is really exciting.
Sorry, do people tell you that you sound like Scarlett Johansson every day?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I hear it now, Natasha.
Yeah.
I so hear it. Wild, wild.
Okay.
Well, now I'm going to have to request that they do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, I hear it
Now
now
I
too.
Isn't
hear
it right?
Yeah.
That's her. You're the voice of the ultimate woman in her.
And the
I'll
voice,
take it.
the
I'll take
voice
it.
that OpenAI stole. They
that's
asked
right.
Scarlett Johansson for her voice. She said no. They kept upping the money. She kept saying no, and then they just hired someone then they just used it anyway.
I'm gonna take it a step further. You don't not look like Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, that's true.
You're like if Scarlett Johansson was a graphic designer kind of a thing.
Or a union organizer.
Or a union
Close
organizer.
enough.
Sure,
organizer.
sure.
Oh my God, what union? Which union?
She probably
So
thinks
I'm
so.
going to give you a really long acronym. I work for the clinicians and researchers at Rutgers University in New Jersey.
Cool.
Also, we can
Yeah,
beep
so-
that if that's a
Oh,
problem.
you can. It's fine.
Okay.
They'll be excited to hear their own acronym. It's AAUP. BHS and J. It rolls right off
Yep,
the tongue.
bitch.
So basically, you're asking, because I adore this man so much and it's only been 3 years, how do we have it? It's hard to have a constructive argument.
Yeah, for what?
We don't argue very often, so we don't seem to have a lot of,
You want
I
more
guess, practice at
conflict.
it. Yeah, well, no,
What's-
please no.
what's
I'm old. I don't need conflict.
What did you feel when you had a conflict? Like, what was it that you were worried about when you had a conflict? What was the feel?
So as a child of trauma, I get as small as possible, and I seem to lose any advocacy for myself. It's just take up as little space as possible. And then because he's a loud, angry person, but he's loud to just, oh, I'm a grumpy macho adult man. Like, I'm grumpy. But he never turned it on me or anything. So he just goes off and I don't know what men do, fish. I don't know what they do.
We
But he
fish.
just goes and he processes and he comes back. And I sort of had to learn to understand what his I don't even know how to explain it. His love language is,
Mm-hmm.
which is acts of service. So he is much less likely to apologize, but he will build me a closet.
Oh,
That is his
my.
the closet is his apology.
Oh my goodness.
It really was, yeah.
People whose love language is acts of service, because that's mine. They're bad at saying I'm sorry.
Oh, he is truly like,
Do
and
you
not
think
not
I
that he
am,
doesn't
Moshe?
feel it.
Do I think you're bad at saying I'm sorry? Honey, I don't know if you ever have. I mean, that is to say, she said sorry. We said,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, but you kind of mean it in a deeper way, not just being like sorry about that.
Like,
it's like, here's what I did wrong. I
Here's what I did
acknowledge it.
and-
I give you the emotional information that you need in order to feel heard and feel.
Well,
in
at least
this
we know
moment.
why now. It's because I want you to do things for me.
That's
also
fair. But do you remember when our caller said that the person that was difficult saying sorry built them a closet?
Oh, but I do.
You
other
ain't never
things.
built me no closet.
No, I do other things.
That's
I'm like
true.
always
That's true.
like
That's true. You do.
hyper aware. Like I'm tending
do.
to the home and the child and the schedule and make.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. I'm always like, how can I do acts of service. I'm like, how can I make his life easier? Oh, this week you don't have to do anything. Like that's how I'm saying I'm sorry and I love you. This week I'll
You know
get
what's-
up with the kid. I'll take the lion's share. I'll do that.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed is that I have to sort of go over it with him like, hey, I saw what you did there. I appreciate that. I try to make it like a finality, like I'm processed, you're processed, we've talked through it in our own way, and I'm acknowledging that this is over. But I want to be able to kind of, I don't know. I want to be able to explain to him why I'm so crazy and what I'm pretty good about asking for what I need at the time. I'm very communicative. Clearly, I never stop communicating. But I would like to be able to have a conversation with him, or I mean, argument, whatever you want to call it, a discussion, and feel like we really got something accomplished. Because at this point, I just feel like I'm over explaining it multiple times and trying to get him to a place where I feel like he understands me.
I think I understand. Sorry to cut you off, but it feels necessary.
No, please do. I need it.
I think I understand what you're saying. You are a big time processor. Maybe because of your neurodiversity, maybe just because of who you are. You like to process emotionally.
Don't forget
and
he's ADHD leaning.
and verbally,
Leaning.
and you want to like have a big sort of communicative gathering of the minds, and he doesn't have that need or skill. And so the conflict often tell me if I'm speaking incorrectly.
No, this is perfect.
The conflict often feels unfulfilling for you because he's offering you a dish you didn't order, and you're trying to serve him a dish he doesn't want. Is that right? So
Correct.
Great.
That's exactly
I
it.
think, and tips on how to do that. What do you guys think about that? Quick answer.
Oh man. I mean,
Well, you just deciphered it, Moshe.
yeah.
Well, I mean, what it seems to me is what we're talking about is that you, like you said, love languages. You guys aren't speaking the same language. It's nice to have a conversation about those things outside of the conflict, where you go, not during a fight, but
Yeah.
at another time you go,
Another time.
here's a meta thing that I'm noticing, which is that often when we get into fights, I feel like unfulfilled because you're not saying the things I want, and you probably feel overburdened because I'm saying all of the things. Here's what I would like at the end of a conflict, even if it's not natural to you, is for you to come to me and say, I acknowledge that I did this, this, and this, and I apologize, and I want to make it right, and tell me what you would like, and then maybe you guys can come preloaded into the next conflict with that information.
And also, it's okay for things to be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, I feel like lower the bar. If you're having a great time, if you're, like, just, but then, sometimes having these feelings of imperfect connection, like, I don't know. I think that's okay.
I love that imperfect connection.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
you're both down, in the ways that you are, and then I think everything goes through phases. I don't know, I don't know.
And not to be rude, but maybe you overprocess. Like, it wouldn't be that bad if you took it down like a couple notches, and maybe he could like kick it up a couple notches. Like maybe you can learn something from him, and he can learn something from you.
What you're saying, Maria, is profound too to me, because it's the information in the world is so about process and healing and health that sometimes it can feel like if you're not doing it right, if you're not getting it perfectly, you are unhealthy. And what you're saying is right. Like, sometimes it sounds like you have a great relationship. Every way you've described this person is like, I love him. We almost never fight. He's awesome. But then I feel this feeling of sort of developmental imperfection when we're at our worst. It's like, yeah, I think what Maria said is right. Like, maybe that's just fine because it sounds like this is going well.
I think in general, I'm more like your boyfriend. And I think that, like, when Moshe wants me to speak in these I statements and like do that whole like therapy talk. Like, I remember once I had this boyfriend, and he was young, like in his 20s, and I saw a note that his mom had written him, and they were all in therapy, and I was just like, it just struck me as like, oh, I don't talk like this. Like, it just doesn't seem real to me. It just seems like fake. It seems like, when you do this, it makes me feel this. And it's like easy for me as a comedian to kind of roast it, because I'm like, okay, well, that's not who I am. But I understand that it's important now to try to speak in those ways, because it gets rid of some of my habits and ways that I talk that are hurtful and that he's taking the wrong way. And it's like, but it's taken a long time for me to figure this out, and maybe he's just hearing this for the first time.
Well, it could also feel kind of culty. Like,
that's how it felt.
I just go, I can't learn a whole new system or philosophy of living,
and speaking and expressing myself and my thoughts and my feelings. It's like, it's an operating system that you have to download, and it's easy for people who grew up with it, but it's harder for people who didn't.
Yeah, and even if you do grow up, things get fucked up. So, Scott, I mean, I don't know.
Where do you land on this,
I'm
Scott?
still dwelling on the Scarlett Johansson.
I couldn't get past
you
it.
can't have a therapist with juicy
Listen,
I mean,
tips.
she married to Colin Jost.
Amy, listen, Amy, just call Colin and tell him that you love him no matter what. You're glad that he's still on SNL, and you're sorry about the surfing injury.
Absolutely. If you actually saw my partner, you would go, oh, maybe not Colin.
Yeah.
But
I think the takeaway from everything we're saying, if I can sum it up, is allow yourself to accept that it won't be perfect.
The imperfect connections.
Allow the acceptance of imperfect connection, and gird yourself with some tools to make these conflicts a little bit more satisfying for both of you by talking about the way that you communicate in these things, because it seems to bother you. Talk about it not when you're fighting, and maybe the next one will be a little bit more interesting.
And I always say, ask for help. Like, I mean, we just went to a therapist this morning. Like, any kind of half-assed $25 copay help is
Have your own therapist.
Like,
Couples
just
therapy.
couple, because it is, or at least to me, it's not intuitive to keep communicating with one human being. I just go I moved to 3,000 miles away from my family, so I wouldn't have to talk to anybody.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. So
I'm from California, actually.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
So Scarlett.
Yeah, that is
All
so
right.
Scarlett. All right.
All right, listen, Amy.
Yep. Scarlett.
Love you.
Yeah, good luck out
Love you.
there.
Thank you guys
seem
so much.
awesome. Keep
Love
fighting
you,
the good fight for
babe.
Pupahua the Gajuwawa or whatever the union
Right.
is. Yeah.
hey.
I really love that, Maria. I think that, there's just I got off Instagram, but there is just such an overemphasis on the wellness and the health and try having a kid. Like, everyone's telling you you're doing it wrong. Everyone's telling you how to talk to the kid. And it's just like and it's every single way they tell you to talk to your kid is not intuitive.
Oh my
You
God.
know?
And your kid's just going to grow up they're going to be whoever they are. Like, my sister had 4 kids. I'm like, they're all just completely different in really weird ways that you could have predicted.
Really?
And my sister's, it seemed like she was the same mom to all of them.
This
but
is why I neglect our daughter completely. I'm like, she's going to be fine. She's going to be who she is.
Yeah.
Well, that
Do we
was
have time
great.
for one more?
Hold on. Well, we're going to do secrets.
Oh, do some secrets. Okay, great. That
So
sounds good.
we have people call in and they leave their secrets.
Their deepest, darkest.
Oh, no. Will he find out a close friend of ours has a double life?
Hi, Natasha. Hi, Moshe. Long-time listener. Love the show. I have a secret that's pretty harmless, but pretty fun. Whenever my partner and I are about to watch a movie that neither of us have seen, I'll secretly Google the movie and read up on, like, the plot summary and the
Oh my God,
twists
I need to
and
start
the
doing this.
details. And then as we're watching the movie, like, early on, I'll make predictions.
What?
I bet, this is going to happen, or that character is going to end up with that character. And then it happens. And my partner thinks I'm just, like, really smart.
That
reading
is
movies
not
right off the
small.
bat. And, like,
No, it's not
That's
small.
dark.
It's like,
That
I have a
is
small
dark.
secret. I'm a sociopath. I'm an
That's
evil.
I've just
Did we miss a big chunk of it? Okay.
Okay, we
That is dark.
dark.
we've never all stopped talking over a secret.
That is,
You guys
that's
were
the most
so
angry I've ever been from
Now,
one of these
here's
secrets.
why I said I should start doing it, because like Moshe likes action movies and I just don't care. And I think if I read plots of some of these dramas,
You could
and action-
avoid watching them in the first place?
No, I could just not ask you a million questions during the movie because
Have you not seen the whole Fast and Furious 1 through 10? Because I have.
Have you really?
I've seen 6.
You love
he
them?
likes them.
Oh,
They're
no.
ridiculous.
They are
I just
ridiculous, but
think
they're fun
they're
ridiculous.
Fun, ridiculous.
Wait, back to this person. That is fucking horrible. In order to impress upon her life partner that she's like an astute analyst of film, he's like, whoa, honey, you knew that Kaiser Sose? That was him?
It begs the question, like, does he not respect her or think that she's, like a predictor of things in real life? You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't listen to her opinion usually. Like, I'm just wondering
interesting.
why she's trying to flex during movies.
That's a fascinating read. Like, in the rest of their relationship, he's just like, shut up, you don't know nothing. And then when it comes to film, she's like, what if? That,
Excuse me. Well,
Wait, the Titanic sinks?
Well, Moshe, this is like one of his big pet peeves.
I hate it.
Like, so sometimes I'm like, oh wait, honey, I just. He's like, don't tell me.
No, I hate
And then I get happy that he thinks I might have known.
This isn't
and I want to say it so he knows I was right.
I'm like, or even I'm talking about organic predictions.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it because what is the scenario in which, if you're right, I
wanna
don't
show
get,
you I'm smart.
I don't get the joy of the reveal in the movie because you said it to me. Like,
if it's a shit film, and I think we both decided on that, then I say we can predict
Yes,
anything.
that's fair.
That's fine.
Through the movie, she Googles the actors. So in the middle of the movie, say it's Dunkirk.
They died of suicide.
No. The actor, you'll be like, oh, he was born in 1956. Well, who was?
But you know that I've done it. I'm not like
I know, but it does throw
pretending
off.
I'm a fortune teller.
or you're coming up with, oh, I know this guy very well. Yeah. That drives me. But I have a problem. There's something wrong with
No,
me.
you get,
I don't
like,
just
very
not like
mad.
it. This I don't like. Also, I really hate when I'm going to go out to eat. Like we had plans to eat, Maria, and you were like, "Hey, yeah, I'm at the taco place, just grabbing a quick taco before dinner. I meet you for dinner." I'm like, "How fucking dare you eat before you eat?"
Yeah, I get stressed. We'll have a party, and Scott will we'll have food out, and Scott will eat before people come.
No.
And
It's
I'll
called appetizers.
Exactly.
I hate it.
No, you have to.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Save it.
Save it.
Yeah, but
I can keep eating. A lot of people like they don't have the same like what's it called, like a stick up their ass. Like
Yeah,
you guys
that's what it's
have?
called. I think.
but
Yeah.
people are always an hour late for our party.
That's true. That's
You guys
true.
are
It's Los
right.
Angeles,
You guys are right. I mean, you should be able to eat. It's your body.
It's your body. You can
eat what you want.
And there's half the time, because it's Los Angeles, half the time 70 people show up or 1 person shows up.
Yeah.
I had a party one time, 75 people showed up and was like, "Oh my God, Pity, keep coming." And then one time, Aparna and Charla showed up, and that was it.
That was it.
And you had an Aparna party? That's so
us
cool.
Aparna party. It was like 2 hours. After a while, she's just like, "I've got to go." I'm like, I hear that, Aparna.
Oh man. All right, shall we play another secret?
Wait, can I just say though, Moshe?
Yes.
You also he fast forwards through the next time on. That's also
I hate next time
that
on.
drives him
I
crazy.
hate
And then
next time on.
sometimes I'll just accidentally gasp like, "Oh, I bet it's," and he gets really mad. So that is like you have like you're on the spectrum.
No,
like,
remember when I
far-
said you're right about the food?
Yeah.
You're wrong about this.
Okay.
It's not cool to make predictions because you will rob the viewer of a moment of revelation from the film.
Well, and the double whammy of this, and I just wonder if she's being dishonest with herself. Like, it's just, I don't know. I find that really odd. Like, what a strange thing. Like, the little things actually are the things that are really important. Like,
You got to disapprove. Maria disapproves. We all disapprove.
I'm judging and I'm using my neck.
You know what?
Maria's one of the least judgmental people in the world, and to have her be like, I'm very disturbed by this behavior.
And I don't know. I think
She's young. She's probably like 22.
yeah. And I guess if it's fun, I think I get.
Take her down,
She's
Maria.
gonna stop
Roast
doing it
her.
now. This is perfect.
I don't know.
Roast her, Maria.
I don't know.
You should do the next roast, Maria. You would be so good on a roast.
Well,
really would.
No, I'm
He's so
just.
apologetic. The
Yeah,
whole
it's
time.
I'm
I would
sorry,
just be
everybody.
Like, you
I'm-
guys are beautiful.
Yeah.
Everything, all your choices. But wait, some of you guys have done a couple of sex crimes. Am I right? Watch your back, ladies. No.
All right, let's
No,
hear another.
Let's hear our next.
Mine
our-
would all just be real. You actually have a misdemeanor and
Yeah.
shouldn't be like.
I lent you $150 in 1999.
Why did you make me drive all the way up to the hill in North Hollywood to collect my $300 opening fee while I had to watch you DJ?
Hi, Tosh. Hi, Moshe. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I am a classic oversharer, and so I never really have any secrets, and I've been wanting to call into the Secrets Hotline with something over however many years you guys have been doing this. And I finally have a secret today, and I'm so grateful that you have the hotline because I literally cannot tell anybody. I am 23 weeks pregnant with my first child, and my husband and I decided to wait until delivery day to find out the sex of the baby. And it really was more for him. He's so excited to just like have that moment and kind of like a little bit keep the romanticism of waiting for the next 20-ish weeks. Just kind of keeps your imagination alive and just feels really special. And so I felt kind of indifferent about it, and so was happy to go along with that plan, and didn't even feel tempted to look. And then today I had to go into my doctor's portal to reschedule an appointment.
I have a prediction.
And had all these notifications in the message
portal.
center and didn't really think about it. Just went to go open them up to kind of clear out the notifications, and accidentally opened up test results from, back at 10 weeks or 12 weeks, and saw that we're having a little baby.
Gender reveal podcast.
I obviously can't tell him because he's so excited about this whole process.
Ooh,
And I can't tell anybody else because I know that once I let this out to one person, it's just going to snowball from there. So anyway, you guys are going to be the only people, well, you and all the honeymooners are going to be the only people who know this. And yeah, it's just so special. I can't wait to raise this
I can't
little,
wait to lie to him for 3 months.
and create a family. So anyway,
I would
so excited about this next chapter.
Yeah.
That's so funny you cut that one off. She was getting so sincere. She's like, I'm so excited about the next chapter. Laura's like, that's enough of that secret. I think we're good. I love this. This is just for us. I think we should beep the gender so that none of the honeymooners know.
Oh,
Just
that's
us
great.
four
That's
know.
That's great.
Wait, but is that right to keep it from him? Because then you're like,
Yeah. Okay, so we got a gift for some community members and we've never told anybody where it was from. And I said that I could keep the secret because I never keep secrets. I cannot tell. I have to tell everybody everything. But I've kept it. And I haven't told anybody.
Don't mention it.
No, I won't. But and I guess it is between us, and I guess it's kind of like a special thing because I'm doing it as a result of like kind of going, oh, it is like it can be fun to keep a fun secret.
Yeah.
I
It's a
guess
gift.
like where
It's
it's
a
like
gift.
because it's a gift. We wouldn't want the community to feel like, oh, thank you, thank you.
There they are.
Yeah, they are. But I don't know.
well, it's a funny idea that we even care about the gender of the baby. Like, isn't the whole thing right now that we don't care about the gender? Like, why is gender reveal so big? Like, oh, it's a girl who might be a boy one day. Why is that such a big deal? I don't know. I don't
That's
really.
a funny idea that the gender reveal itself is less exciting because gender itself is just less essential these days.
Well, and
Social
it's so
construct.
like intersex. You don't know. I mean, all sorts of
What if she had
experiences
said that?
could be happening. Yeah.
And I found out in the portal results, the baby is intersex.
Intersex.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
What if you found out in the portal results, the portal results that your child was going to be like really successful and thrive?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing? You'd be like, yes, we got a good one. Like, who
not.
cares about the gender?
Or not. That's funny. We open the portal results. He's
I know.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dumb one.
Yeah.
But what a blessing! Oh my gosh! Because guess what?
He's a
Those
trumper.
people are happy.
Yeah. I think she keeps the secret and allows her husband to have. He wanted the joy. Why not?
yeah.
Well, there's no harm in the secret. There's no
Okay.
harm in being enthusiastic
Okay,
about it.
about
even if
having
it-
a secret. Okay,
yeah, why
yeah.
not? Keep
Okay,
it.
keep
I
it.
just love that we're the only people that know. As of right now, we are so disconnected from this family. We don't know who they are, but for some reason we know the most intimate secret of their family.
Who cares what's...
And I would cut out the gender of the father as well, and the mother.
Oh, that's great. We'll
We
just
don't have to just have it be
says,
a woman's
Hi,
voice.
it's been a while and I prefer to keep a secret, but it's time for me to reveal. My didn't want to know either, but I opened the portal.
Wait,
results.
Moshe, are you an impressionist?
right now I am.
That is very good. I don't know what that is, but it's wonderful.
Well,
when
I
they-
never clear my throat is what it was.
Well, listen, it has been
Okay,
such
we
a
gotta go.
pleasure.
Okay, we gotta go. They gotta go. Thank you so much. You were awesome. You're the best.
We
the
love you.
funniest.
Thank
We
you
love
for
you.
having us.
We'll see you at your next party.
Yeah,
'cause
we-
I know you'll
Interestingly,
remember
never
to
gotten an
invite
invite.
us.
It's just good
All
to
I
you
ask
two.
Maria is, you don't need to invite us to any parties, but we're very, as you know, Natasha doesn't run the light. Invite us to your funeral. Put us on the list, please.
For sure. Everybody's invited to do 3 minutes.
Love it.
Also, give us a call if you have any secrets. 213-222-8608.
You can also email us if you want to be on the podcast, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram.
And as our child says, subscribe.
Yeah, Patreon, YouTube. Goodbye.